I'm Cody Clark, and this is your Daily Herald Movie Roundup. Our first film this week is Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist. Lifted from the pages of a popular young adult novel, the movie is about two bright, seemingly multifaceted souls who both like music and go to the same bar on the same night in Manhattan. Nick is the teenage bassist for a gay punk band, but not gay himself, and Nora is a Jewish schoolgirl who has a famous father. They connect because of a pretty club hopper who happens to be Nick's ex-girlfriend and Nora's snotty classmate. Embarrassed to be at the bar without a date, Nora pulls Nick out of the crowd and begs him to kiss her, attempting to save face by sucking face.
Would you be my boyfriend for 5 minutes?
What?
Please, just go with it, okay?
Nick! Nora! How do you guys, know each other?
We're the same dentist.
Yeah, he's good.
The fateful smooch causes some sparks, and the two crazy kids end up chasing each other around Manhattan from dusk until dawn, occasionally taking time to hash, rehash, and re-rehash what we already know they're both bound to agree on. Love is in the air. The hashing feels authentically awkward and charmingly earnest, thanks largely to the smart, confident performance of Kat Dennings as Nora, and to a lesser extent, the adequate presence of Michael Cera as Nick. Cera does essentially the same thing here that he did in both Superbad and Juno. It's fine as far as it goes, and it's gone as far as it can. There's a lot of dead air in the screenplay, however, thanks mostly to Nora's drunk girlfriend, and the movie falls into the same old rut of preaching to kids that nothing in life is more important than romantic love, and nothing in romantic love is more important than physical pleasure. The playlist may be infinite, but the songs are all the same. There's also a lot of romantic energy in Beverly Hills Chihuahua, but this time it's puppy love. The newest comedy to come from the Walt Disney Company is essentially a live-action remake of Lady and the Tramp, only the main characters are Chihuahuas, Chloe and Poppy, and the big city is Mexico City. The cast includes the voices of Drew Barrymore, George Lopez, Andy Garcia, Edward James Olmos, Cheech Marin, Paul Rodriguez, and Placido Domingo. Apparently nobody thought of calling Hector Elizondo and Salma Hayek. If you're allergic to canines, then maybe the true inspirational story of the invention of the intermittent windshield wiper will grab you. Don't everybody storm the ticket counter at once. Flash of Genius isn't just about the intermittent wiper and the man, college professor Bob Kearns, who invented it. It's also the story of how Ford and Chrysler stole his design and how Bob spent almost 30 years in court fighting for his rights. He spent nearly $10 million in legal fees, and apparently his wife left him, but when you're right, you're right. When you aren't right, then you may be the star of How to Lose Friends and Alienate People. This one's also inspired by actual events. The hero is a slobby British journalist whose flippant personal style rubs people the wrong way after he takes a job at a big celebrity magazine in New York City. Shaun of the Dead star Simon Pegg has the lead role, and Jeff Bridges plays his demanding editor. Magazines and celebrity gossip are kind of girly, so men will be happy to learn that the movie also features Megan Fox in her first role since bending over the engine of a car in Transformers. If you saw Transformers, but you don't remember that scene, then you may suffer from a condition that afflicts people in our next film, the science fiction drama Blindness. It's based on a novel by Nobel Prize-winning Portuguese writer José Saramago. The action unfolds in an unnamed city where a mysterious malady causes people to lose their sight. This causes the government to quarantine them in an abandoned asylum, perhaps intending to cover up the cause of their problem. Left to themselves, the victims gradually turn on each other. Blindness of another sort is addressed in An American Carol, partisan blindness. The political satire isn't playing at any local theaters, but Utah Valley residents may want to consider driving to Salt Lake County to see it, since the film is a bit of a rarity. It's a Hollywood movie that makes fun of liberals and liberal biases. The writer and director is David Zucker, who previously directed Airplane, and the star is Kevin Farley, brother of the late Chris Farley, as a Michael Moore-like filmmaker who, like Ebenezer Scrooge, gets a chance to see the error of his ways. Finally, there's Appaloosa, a film that instead of being about right and left is about good old right and wrong. Appaloosa is a mining town in 1880s New Mexico that's been overrun by rustlers, thugs, and a powerful rancher. Somebody has to clean up that mess, and the townspeople recruit Virgil Cole, played by Ed Harris, and Everett Hitch, played by Lord of the Rings star Viggo Mortensen. Harris also co-wrote and directed the movie, and while most reviewers haven't been kind to Renée Zellweger, playing a mysterious woman who also rides into town, everyone seems to agree that Appaloosa is a great choice for people who like Westerns. If you don't like Westerns or inventors or magazines, talking dogs, teenagers, science fiction, or conservative political satire, then we'll have something brand new for you next week.